This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 6th day of March in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The turnout rate for teachers today was high as schools across the country returned to a state of normalcy following that 4-week strike action by teachers. In a telephone interview with News Source, the General Secretary of the Guyana Teachers Union, Coretta McDonald, said teachers reported for school in large numbers today.
I know quite a lot of teachers turned out today. Some are going to be out tomorrow, but quite a lot of them turned out today.
A request for information on the turnout rates for both teachers and students from the Ministry of Education was met with silence. However, when News Source visited a number of schools in the city, full classes were in session. A head teacher of one of the primary schools in the city told News Source that the numbers were encouraging.
The turnout is a lot better than it was for the last few weeks. Last few weeks we were getting between 95 to 100. Most of them grade 6, but today it's about 400 plus. So this is a school with more than 600 children, so it's been a lot better.
And what about the teachers?
The head teacher also said all of the teachers, with the exception of one who was on medical leave, reported for duty at her school. The full resumption of schools is as a result of an agreement reached between the Ministry of Education and the Guyana Teachers Union during a mediation process ordered by High Court Judge Sandal Kisun. The two sides agreed on Monday that a 4-week strike action will be called off with immediate effect, and talks on a number of issues, including those of salary increases for teachers, would commence within 48 hours of the resumption of work by teachers. The first meeting is set to take place tomorrow at the Ministry of Education. Ahead of that meeting, the GTU General Secretary assured that the union will be making a strong case for teachers to receive a substantial increase in salaries and other benefits.
Well, we just want teachers to be confident that we are going in there to come out with a win-win, which would be beneficial to them, and we want them to be reassured that their priority, their welfare, is our first priority.
According to the agreement reached, the discussions are expected to take place within a reasonable period of time. The union, however, is hopeful that the government will be swift in its response to the issues facing teachers. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true, or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Holiday spending put a dent in your cash. Top up your pockets in the Cash Splash promotion. Win over $5 million, including over $1 million in our weekly draws. Just purchase any Buster, Turbo, Fruita, Cool Kids or Viva. Look for the 8-digit code starting with 786. Then visit Facebook or IG at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean for more details.
Tonight, as Haiti edges towards the brink of a civil war with non-stop violence gripping most of the country, CARICOM has met with representatives of the Haitian government and the opposition of Haiti, along with other stakeholders seeking a way forward. Criminal gangs have taken over the capital of Haiti, Port-au-Prince, and those gangs have demanded the resignation of the country's prime minister, who was recently in Guyana for the CARICOM conference. CARICOM is seeking a speedy resolution to the problem. CARICOM Chairman President Irfan Ali, in a statement this afternoon, said despite the meetings, CARICOM has been unable to broker a deal that would bring about a change in the situation and bring the current situation under some level of control. The Haitian government has declared a state of emergency.
And in spite of many, many meetings, we have not yet been able to reach any form of consensus between the government and the respective stakeholders in the opposition, the private sector, civil society, and religious organizations. The situation is complex, with many moving parts. It is compounded by the absence of key institutions functioning, such as the presidency and the parliament.
According to President Irfan Ali, the situation in Haiti is further undermined by continuous violence and the lack of humanitarian aid. He said CARICOM has been urging all Haitian stakeholders that there needs to be an urgent consensus, given that they have agreed that a solution must be held.
Consensus and getting a consensus is therefore of paramount importance. Recognize that there must be a political solution to anchor any stabilization of the security and humanitarian efforts. The fact that more people have died in Haiti in the early part of this year than in Ukraine must give everyone in Haiti and in the international community serious pause.
He said CARICOM has been urging the Haitian stakeholders that there needs to be an urgent consensus. The issue in Haiti was placed on the agenda of the UN Security Council today in a closed-door session. However, President Irfan Ali said with a homegrown solution being sought, the country will need the support of not just CARICOM, but the international community to rebuild and get the country back in a state of normalcy. Hundreds of persons have been killed in violent attacks over the past few weeks. City Magistrate Lerone Daly has referred the question of fair hearing, which has been raised at the elections fraud case, to the High Court. The magistrate's decision came in response to the defense attorney's contention that Section 142 of the Representation of the People's Act, which bars the disclosure of the minutes of meetings held by the Guyana Elections Commission, to be unconstitutional. Attorney at law Nigel Hughes, who forms part of a battery of attorneys representing a number of accused in the case, last Monday requested copies of the minutes of the meetings held by the Guyana Elections Commission during the course of the 2020 elections. He submitted then that Section 142 of the Representation of the People's Act, which bars against such disclosure, is in conflict with the Constitution, which guarantees a fair hearing. Today, while relying on Article 153 of the Constitution, Magistrate Daly says she was compelled to refer the question to the High Court. The magistrate reasoned that in her opinion, the question raised by Hughes is neither frivolous or vexatious and is worthy of consideration by the High Court. The attorney Nigel Hughes, who appeared alongside attorney Ronald Daniels, welcomed the decision of the city magistrate.
Article 153 of the Constitution says that anytime anybody raises a constitutional point before a magistrate or any other inferior tribunal, that tribunal must refer the matter to the High Court, unless it's frivolous and vexatious. Well, this clearly is not a frivolous and vexatious issue because, of course, this deals with the essence of a defendant being able to defend himself by way of cross-examination. So today, the magistrate upheld our submission, which is that, one, it is an important constitutional point. Two, it was not frivolous and vexatious. And three, that she would do as directed by the Constitution, refer the matter to the High Court.
As he did last Monday, the attorney submitted that the minutes of the meetings would reveal that the former chief elections officer and the former deputy chief elections officer acted in accordance with the decisions of the Elections Commission during the course of the 2020 elections. He reasoned that in the absence of such documents, the defense would not be able to confront the chairman of the Elections Commission. And the commissioner says Gunaraj and Robeson Ben on decisions that were taken at the level of the commission that guided the actions of the defendants.
If in their defense, Mr. Lowenfield and Ms. Myers want to say, I was at a meeting on a particular day during the election period when this decision was made, and we were directed by the commission to go and do X, Y, and Z, and that's exactly what we did do, they cannot present that meeting or decision of the commission, which they're relying on in their defense, to say, look, when I did X, Y, and Z, it was because the commission directed me to so do. And that is the most fundamental aspect of our entire legal proceeding, is that you must be able to confront your accusers.
With the decision taken to refer the question to the High Court, Magistrate Daly indicated that the proceedings would be put on hold, pending the hearing and determination of the matter at the level of the High Court. Counsel for the state, Darsham Ramdani, wanted the matter to proceed while the High Court was addressing the question raised. However, the defense attorneys told the court that the issue of fair hearing applies to the entire trial and not simply 3 of the material witnesses. The case has been adjourned until the 2nd of April at 10 a.m. for a report.
At the most critical life-changing moments, the National Insurance Scheme is here to ensure that your needs are covered. Access reimbursement for medical expenses for various aspects of your medical care. We know that eye care is of utmost importance. Receive assistance with our Spectacle Care voucher. Visiting the dentist? Dental care is also covered under our sickness benefit services. Offset the funeral expenses of a loved one with costs covered by our funeral benefits. National Insurance Scheme. We're there every step of the way.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo, from its pristine rivers to its abundant resources. It's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect, and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
Hundreds of persons descended on the Freedom House headquarters of the governing People's Progressive Party this morning after reports surfaced of a cash grant distribution taking place there. The reports turned out to be a hoax by persons unknown, according to members of the party. Many of those who gathered could not say who shared the information with them, but they gathered anyhow. Minister within the Prime Minister's office, Kwame McCoy, said persons were misled into believing that a PPP would have been distributing cash to citizens at its office. He said there is no such initiative taking place, and he suspects that the opposition might have been behind the rumor that triggered the false reports.
What is occurring here this morning is really reflects what is happening within communities by the APNU AFC operatives who have been spreading a rumor in many of the communities that monies are being shared at Freedom House and that people should come down here today to collect monies being shared out at Freedom House. We have been battling with this type of misinformation over time in the social media and elsewhere, where deliberately the APNU AFC have been spreading misinformation amongst people.
The crowds continued to grow for a number of hours, although persons were repeatedly told that there was no distribution taking place at the party office.
It is absolute mischief because at the end of the day, there is no such program here at Freedom House, and therefore people don't need to be here to collect any cash because there is no such program.
The government minister explained that the government has a small business grant program where persons receive funds to start up their business while others could receive funds to expand their business ventures. He said those programs are offered through specific government departments and not by the governing party itself. Well, the Ministry of Home Affairs has announced that a total of 44 women who are all foreign nationals were rescued during an anti-trafficking in persons operation at the Red Dragon Nightclub here in Georgetown. The women were removed from the club and placed in protective care following an early morning raid on Monday. The popular club is known for employing local and foreign exotic dancers, but the Home Affairs Ministry is claiming that it received information of possible trafficking in persons taking place at the club. The Guyana Police Force has since launched a full investigation into the allegations of trafficking in persons and other forms of exploitation and abuse. There has been no arrest in the case. Additionally, during the raid, law enforcement officials said they discovered a .32 Taurus pistol and 8 rounds of ammunition on the premises. The Home Affairs Ministry has said it will provide further updates as those updates become available, and it has warned that along with the Guyana Police Force, the Ministry of Human Services, and other anti-trafficking in persons stakeholders, it will continue to engage the public and monitor such establishments. Guyana remains on a U.S. State Department watch list as a country where trafficking in persons takes place.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Holiday spending put a dent in your cash. Top up your pockets in the Cash Splash promotion. Win over $5 million, including over $1 million in our weekly draws. Just purchase any Buster, Turbo, Fruita, Cool Kids, or Viva. Look for the 8-digit code starting with 786. Then visit Facebook or IG at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean for more details.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall. In the region, the gang leader behind the violence blighting the Haitian capital has warned there will be a civil war if Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry does not step down. According to the BBC, the gang leader known as Barbecue made a threat as members of his gang tried to seize the capital's airport to stop Mr. Henry from returning from abroad. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights said the situation was beyond untenable. Thousands of Haitians had to flee. Aid groups say about 15,000 people, among them many young children, have been displaced from their homes in recent weeks. The UN High Commissioner said since the beginning of the year, a staggering 1,193 people have been killed and 692 others injured by gang violence. He urged the international community to act swiftly and decisively to prevent Haiti from further descent into chaos. Venezuela's highly anticipated presidential election will take place on July 28, the birthday of the country's late leader Hugo Chavez, officials announced on Tuesday, plowing ahead with a tight campaign season that deepens doubts over the participation of the opposition's leading candidate as well as of international observers. President Nicolas Maduro is widely expected to run for re-election. His government initially negotiated details of the election with a faction of the opposition backed by the United States government, but differences between the two sides have grown over the past 2 months. The date announced by the National Electoral Council President Elvis Amoroso did, however, meet at least one opposition demand that the election be held in the second half of the year. And finally tonight, international news. Nikki Haley ended her long-shot challenge to Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump on Wednesday, ensuring the former president will be the party's candidate in a rematch with Democratic President Joe Biden in November's election. Haley, the former South Carolina governor and Trump's ambassador to the United Nations, bowed out a day after Super Tuesday, opens new tab when Trump beat her soundly in 14 of 15 Republican nominating contests. She said it was likely Trump, who repeatedly belittled her candidacy, would be the Republican nominee, but did not endorse him. Drawing on her foreign policy experience at the UN, Haley said it was important to continue U.S. global leadership. Throughout her campaign, Haley said the United States must help Ukraine defend itself against Russian aggression, a position at odds with Trump.
And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.